Hello, you absolutely lovely people from all over the world. I'm so excited to see that we have people from South Korea, Finland, UK, USA, Canada, Germany, France, and more. It really makes me feel very good and motivated to post this podcast and today's episode. Today was a day where I think I hesitated for a couple minutes if I was going to post something today or not. You're listening to the Borealis experience. I'm your host, Aurora, and of course I will not let you down on a more chaotic day than others. Today I want to talk about what you can expect when you choose to grow, when you choose to get rid of old habits that don't serve you anymore, when you choose to walk a path that maybe no one else in your family decided to walk before you. In the last episode, I said I wanted to talk about relationships today and if you are a good friend, but I'm going to postpone this to the next episode. Today I want to talk about something just as important because today it really came up strongly in my life that growth is a difficult, rocky path at times. It might make you feel strong, independent, and liberate you from old dust. But there's a downside to it that you really have to be aware of. Today, for instance, I tried to log in to my bank account online, and suddenly it said, well, you have to change your password. And long story short, it was a back and forth between me and my cell phone and passwords that didn't want it to be reset and phone calls and just a huge mess for basically nothing. And I got really caught up in it. And at some point I had to just sit back and think about the meditation I posted this morning about effortlessness and how ridiculous it was to feel so caught up in something really minor. And I had to remind myself that sometimes we just have to let go. Sometimes we have to go to bed with unresolved issues. So all this to say, when you choose to grow, when you choose to liberate yourself, doesn't mean that you will never ever encounter problems again, that you will never ever feel strong emotions again, or have the perfect tools to then, in the perfect moment, take that tool out and feel totally zen compared to other people. This is just nothing could be further from the truth. What I really hate seeing is when spiritual teachers out there give you all this advice, and at some point really make you feel weird and maybe small, even because they come across as so perfect and flawless and as if they could always react perfectly in every moment. And this is not the truth. So that's why I decided right away then to post an episode today, because I can't forget that you don't really know me yet, and you have to know that I struggle on many levels. I just learned along my journey and want to share those experiences, those lessons I learned, to help other people to cut short and maybe to not waste as much time as I did in some areas of my life. So I got really caught up today and came to a point where I just had to drop everything and know that tomorrow I'm going to take my truck and just drive into town and solve it with a person and not with a computer, and that will be way better. If you have the possibility, always choose human interaction over phone conversations. That is one of my little messages today, because with people we can talk, people can, not all of them of course, but really good customer service sees your struggle, your problem, and then helps you out as much as they can. And that's a very positive human interaction, that when you go to bed at night you can feel like you did something good for yourself. So to dive in a little deeper when it comes to relationships, is in this situation today, what happened? I was really like a pit bull. Oh, talking about pit bull, she just comes in. Hey Bonnie, do you want to be part of it? Come here. No, she just doesn't like closed doors. I was biting onto that problem like a pit bull and really wanted to get it done. I was fixated, and everything around me was not there anymore. I couldn't see my friend. I couldn't see my grandma. Nothing was important anymore except that problem. And that mode is never good, because that means I'm in this case operating from the mind only, and I'm trying to force something that can't be done right away. And it is very, very harmful to the relationships around you, and then ultimately to yourself. So if I had chosen to drop it earlier and just say I'm driving to town right now and solve the problem, awesome. Or if I had chosen to not take it as serious and maybe make fun about it with my people around it, or maybe ask for help, then the whole day would have gone in a very different direction. So what I want to learn in the future, and can only recommend to other people too who get really intense at times, is you got to force yourself and see the big picture and see how ridiculous it is to get worked out about something minor, something that doesn't harm anybody and is not going to have bad consequences. You have to force yourself to go into Bert's perspective and see how ridiculously you're just behaving and wasting precious energy. That's my one little lesson I want to learn today. And it might come up again, and then I will try and force myself to think about it. So then when we keep discussing relationships and how we show up in relationships, is really important, especially when we are in a place where we tend to play the victim. I know it sounds mean, but a lot of people do that, and blame others. Then you are in a state of helplessness and hopelessness, and kind of stuck in a hole where you can't really help yourself out again easily. The moment we take charge, the moment we can see what was my part in this weird situation in a relationship now, what did I do wrong, what can I do better, where can I ask for forgiveness, is the point where you will actually change a whole situation and can totally flip around a relationship, because that other person will then feel that you truly care, first of all. And most of them, it works like wonder, will also look at themselves and open up about what they think they did wrong. And this is the point in a relationship where you then can talk and have a real conversation again instead of nagging, blaming, distracting, running away from it, avoiding it. Maybe you experience a conflict right now, and then I really, really want to emphasize this, that if you can sit down and write out or think about what was your part, and even if you think you're the biggest victim and that person was so mean and unjust with you, what was your part? Just focus on yourself. Did you allow that person to treat you like a piece of, I'm not going to say it, but you know what I meant. Did you trigger something in that other person? Is there something that you don't know about the other person that might have upset them? So really go back from that intense pitbull mode like I was today with my computer and approach it with more curiosity. And as you are not dealing with a computer, you will get a response, and that response will surprise you, because most of the time people didn't mean it that way or exactly meant it that way, and then you know better. You have kind of a resolution then when you start looking at yourself, start asking questions from a place that is warm and genuine and not aggressive, and it will work wonders. So today I think my main message is, as often as you can, not only while you meditate, but while you react, while you get really worked up and caught up in your emotions, while you are maybe sitting for some time now in victim mode and blaming others, go into bird's perspective and check in with yourself. Don't be too harsh. It's not about punishing yourself and being mean to yourself. It is all about seeing what happened, reflect about what was your part, and then correct in the future. And before doing that, you can go and apologize, you can go and explain yourself, and everything is good again because you are at peace with yourself again. I'm going to do that with myself tonight. I might have to sit down one more time and let everything float out of my soul again, everything I was angry and frustrated about today, because I want to have a good night's sleep and not think about it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll solve my problem and everything is going to be fine again. Thank you so much for listening to the Borealis experience. I'm your host, Aurora, and I think today was good because you learned a little bit more about myself. And I really shouldn't forget that we're only getting to know each other here on this podcast yet, and I will be more open in the future and keep giving you tools to help you out with growth, with mental struggles that you had over a period of time now, especially during COVID, and be there for you through meditations, through my inspirational talks here. And I'm very, very thankful to have you on board. Thank you very much. Bis bald, Aurora.